Imagine you're sitting inside a vehicle roughly the size of a shipping container. It weighs 13 tons empty. The engine has been running continuously for 11 hours. Outside, the temperature is minus 40 degrees Celsius, the point where Celsius and Fahrenheit converge into the same number, and where exposed skin can begin to freeze in under 10 minutes. You're not going anywhere. The convoy stopped 2 hours ago because visibility dropped to near zero. There's nowhere to go, and no buildings within 200 kilometers. The truck isn't transported anymore. It's the only reason you're still alive. This is what soldiers operating in Siberia and Russia's Arctic territories deal with as a standard operating condition, not an emergency, a baseline. The Russian military trains its Arctic forces to operate in climates where temperatures regularly drop to minus 40, using convoys of heavy military vehicles to sustain life across terrain where there are no roads, no shelter, and no margin for mechanical failure. So the question becomes obvious. How do you eat, sleep, and stay functional inside a military truck when the environment outside is actively trying to kill you? The answer involves insulated crew modules, rotational sleep protocols, a 5,000-calorie daily diet, and a decision about the engine that determines whether the crew wakes up at all. To understand how it works, you have to start with the vehicles themselves. Russia's primary wheeled military transport for Arctic and Siberian operations is the KamAZ Mustang family, specifically the KamAZ 5350, a six-wheel drive truck that entered military service with the Russian ground forces in 2002, with production beginning in 2003. The larger 8-axle variant, the KamAZ 6560, can carry a payload of 20 tons and tow a trailer weighing up to 12 tons. KamAZ 6350 is equipped with an autonomous heating system that feeds engine heat through a filter system directly into the crew compartment, and the fuel system includes a dedicated heater to prevent diesel from gelling in extreme cold. Arctic spec KamAZ variants include a cold weather starting device rated effective down to minus 50 degrees Celsius, and a central tire inflation system that allows the crew to adjust tire pressure without leaving the cab. Critical when stopping outside to check pressures means exposing hands to minus 40 air for several minutes. For operations where wheeled vehicles can't maintain traction, Russian Arctic convoys rely on the 30-ton tracked Vityaz DT-30PM, an articulated all-terrain transporter designed to carry its own weight and payload and keep moving in temperatures ranging from plus 40 to minus 50 degrees Celsius. The smaller DT-10PM variants provide sleeping quarters, a mobile kitchen, storerooms, and even a snowmobile garage, essentially a mobile forward operating base on tracks. The DT-30PM's cabin seats 5 and features automatic heating and ventilation systems. From the outside, these vehicles look industrial, functional. Inside is a different problem entirely. Before getting to how soldiers live inside these trucks, you have to understand what minus 40 actually means at the physical level. Because most people who haven't experienced it treat it as a large version of ordinary cold. It isn't. At temperatures this extreme, exposed skin can begin to freeze in as little as 10 minutes. Metal contracts, making latches, door hinges, and tool handles harder to operate. Diesel fuel starts to gel without a heated fuel system. Batteries lose capacity rapidly, and the cognitive effects of cold set in before most people notice them. Coordination degrades, decision-making slows, and the body begins redirecting blood flow from extremities to protect core organs. Russia's Arctic military doctrine requires soldiers to be capable of conducting missions in minus 50-degree blizzards, which means the entire system, vehicle design, crew protocols, nutrition, sleep, has to work together as a single unit. A failure in any one of those categories can cascade quickly. Inside the KamAZ trucks and Vityaz carriers, heating isn't a comfort feature. It's the primary life support mechanism. The KamAZ 635's autonomous heater feeds filtered engine heat directly to the crew compartment, supplemented by auxiliary heating units that can operate independently of the main engine. The cab insulation is engineered specifically for Arctic use. Standard-issue KamAZ trucks, modified for northern operations, add additional insulation layers to the cabin walls and floor. The clothing system works in parallel with vehicle heating. Russian Arctic military uniforms comprise a 13-item layered ensemble designed to protect soldiers from long-term cold exposure, fierce winds, rain, and snow, including conditions where a soldier might fall through ice into freezing water. Wet gear is the faster killer. Moisture wicks body heat far more efficiently than dry cold, which is why crews inside Arctic vehicles obsessively manage wet kit, hanging gloves near heat vents, keeping boots elevated off the metal floor, rotating wet outer layers toward warm air circulation. The window to the outside world slowly disappears behind condensation. The cab smells like diesel, wet wool, and food. The engine vibrates constantly through the floor. Here's the detail that reframes everything else. In conditions below -30 degrees Celsius, turning off the engine is not a neutral decision. It is a gamble. Arctic spec KamAZ vehicles include cold weather starting devices rated to -50 degrees Celsius. But reliability in extreme cold depends on battery health, fuel viscosity, and how long the vehicle has been sitting. A crew that shuts down overnight and wakes to a failed start isn't stranded in the inconvenient sense. They're stranded in the dangerous sense. No engine means no heat. No heat at -40 means the cab temperature starts dropping toward the ambient within minutes. So convoys idle. Fuel consumption runs continuously. Someone monitors gauges through the night. During the Russian Defense Ministry's Arctic vehicle trials on the Varenday Peninsula, test vehicles covered more than 6,000 kilometers in conditions designed specifically to stress these systems, validating not just the mechanical performance, but the crew protocols that keep people alive when the machines are the only thing standing between them and the terrain. The engine doesn't sleep. That's the job. Sleep inside an Arctic military convoy doesn't mean rest in any comfortable sense of the word. It means managed recovery in a vehicle that is running, vibrating, and being monitored. Crews operate on rotation schedules. One soldier maintains watch, monitoring the engine, checking gauges, tracking weather conditions, while others sleep. Sleeping bags are rolled out across whatever flat surface exists. Jackets stay on. Boots stay close enough to grab in seconds. Nobody fully settles because the operational mindset doesn't allow it. Something could change outside. The engine could flag an issue. The weather could lift and the convoy could move. DT-10 PM variants built for extended operations include dedicated sleeping quarters, a purpose-built rest area rather than improvised space on a cargo floor. In the KamAZ cab variants, the sleeping berth is a narrow fold-down platform behind the driver and co-driver seats, not a bed, a surface, enough to horizontal. Red interior lighting keeps night vision intact and doesn't disturb sleeping crew. Windows collect ice on the outside and condensation on the inside. The hum of the diesel runs through everything, and at some point, exhaustion overrides the discomfort. Russian Arctic soldiers are issued a special daily ration of 5,000 calories, compared to the 3,000 calories allocated to regular servicemen, a difference that reflects the metabolic cost of operating in extreme cold. The body burns significantly more energy just maintaining core temperature. Skip calories across a 48-hour operation, and cognitive performance degrades whether the soldier has slept properly or not. Beyond the standard Army diet, Arctic ration packs include high-calorie sandwiches with lard and salami, fruit drinks, and concentrated cocoa chocolate. Dense, calorie-efficient food that doesn't require significant preparation and won't freeze solid inside a pack. For longer operations, DT-10 PM support vehicles include mobile field kitchens capable of serving hot meals in the field. Soups, tea, bread, hot protein. The first hot meal after hours in a frozen convoy is not a minor event. Steam rises from a metal bowl. People move faster. Shoulders come down. It is not comfort. It is the restoration of function. There's a meaningful difference between those two things when the temperature outside is trying to kill you. After 24 hours in a Siberian convoy, the psychological reframe is complete. You don't think about the truck as transport anymore. You think about it as a shelter that happens to have an engine. Russian Arctic expeditions have covered nearly 2,000 kilometers across terrain from the Sakha Republic to Kotelny Island in conditions where roads don't exist. Weather decides the pace, and the vehicles are the entire logistical system. In those conditions, the truck is where you eat, where you sleep, where you wait, and where you keep the engine running through the night because the alternative isn't inconvenience, it's exposure. The KamAZ Mustang and the Vityaz get attention for their off-road capability and payload specs. But the quieter story is the human engineering built around them. The calorie counts, the sleep rotations, the heating protocols, the fuel management decisions that determine whether a crew survives a night stop. The vehicle is only as useful as the people inside it. And keeping people functional at minus 40 degrees across multiple days in a cab the size of a large closet is its own category of military accomplishment. Next time you see footage of a Russian Arctic convoy moving through a Siberian winter, know that inside one of those trucks, someone just finished a watch rotation, ate a 5,000-calorie meal in a space they can't stand up straight in, and handed control to their crewmates so they could sleep on a folded jacket while the engine runs through the night. That's the mission.